What's going on, guys? This is Nate from the Scrub Academy, welcoming you to another deck profile here on the channel. Today we are profiling my Sky Striker for Hire deck that took to locals this past week. It's definitely a deck that cannot break boards. You always want to go first if you can. If you are not going first, you do main a ton of hand traps to try and slow down your opponent. That way they can't try and build a board that you can't get around. We're going to go ahead and jump right into the deck, and I'll talk about a few specific cards as we move along into it. So starting off, we are playing 3 Beat Blazeman for Hire. Probably one of the best cards in the deck. It's your searcher. The problem is there's not a lot of ways of getting to it. It is a warrior, so you can play Rhoda, but that's all you can really do to get to it. So you kind of have to hope that you open up into it. Next, you have 3 Donpa, Marksman for Hire. This is your popper of the deck. Destroys your face-up cards on the field. So really good card. Allows you to get your pluses off of your Folga really easily, depending on whose turn it is. It is a level 2 wind. You can use that level 2 to your advantage if you do want to go into some XYZ plays with Raccoon, but yes. Moving right along, we do play 2 Recon. 3 Recon was just too much. There's not that much back row going on right now. Whereas Donpa really helps get rid of problem things on the field. Recon is kind of there if we need it, we can use it. It is also level 2, so you kind of use that in Donpa to go into your XYZ plays for rank 2. We're playing 3 Seal Strategist for Hire. Strategist is a really good card. Allows you to add 1 for hire monster from your graveyard back to your hand when one is special summoned. All of the for hires allow you to special summon from hand as well. So if you have a big old handful of monsters, that's not really a big problem because you can just keep specialing them as long as they aren't the big guys. But yeah, he does allow you to add 1 back from your graveyard to hand. So you can kind of play around a few things. If you are discarding for negations with Raphael and Wiz, don't worry, you can get them back with your seal. Then we're playing 2 Bravo Fighter for Hire. Bravo is the one that allows you to gain 500 attack points when one special summon, so all your monsters gain 500. It really helps because your strongest monster in the main deck is Raphael at 2800 attack. So if they have anything above that, you're definitely going to need Bravo to try and push over it. Yet again, does allow you to special summon from hand. Then we're playing 2 Helmsman for Hire. I was never a huge fan of this card when it first came out. Mainly doing it now for the draws as well. You can do some Aqua plays as well, or some rank 3 plays if you really need to, but you're never really going to go into that. You're definitely going to be using the effect of when one summoned, you can discard a card to draw a card, or a for hire card to draw a card. So it just helps you to dig through your deck a little bit faster if you need to. And then we're playing the 1 Wiz Sage for Hire. I just felt like more than 1 Wiz wasn't really that big of a thing. It does negate spells and traps, which is really good. It does have a 2800 but the 1600 attack just doesn't really do much for me. It is good for when you're going to be going into going into time because you can gain life points, which is really good. But when it comes down to it, I feel like it's not as good as Raphael. Speaking of which, we are playing 2 Raphael Champion for Hire. 2800 attack allows you to look at the top cards to your deck, add 1 to your hand, up to the number of different monsters with for hire in the name that as long as they're not Raphael. So really good card. Discard 1 to negate a monster effect. Another really good effect as well. So he's kind of your boss monster of the deck and what helps you win a lot of your games. Moving on, we do play a lot of hand traps because we are a going first deck and we do not want our opponent to get any kind of advantage whatsoever. The reason behind playing as many hand traps as I do, 1, if we're going second, we don't want our opponent to be able to do anything. And 2, if we are already set up on the board and we got our Folga up, if we can pop one of their monsters or anything with, say, a Ghost Ogre, we can draw 3 and hopefully draw into more hand traps like Ash and whatnot. So we are playing 3 Ash Blossom and Joyous Springs. Stops your opponent from adding cards, sending cards to grave from deck, etc., etc. We're playing 3 Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit. Probably one of the better hand traps in the deck. Yes, Ash Blossom stops things, but with your Ghost Ogre, you can destroy things, and that helps you get your draws off of your Folga. So, really good card. Wish I had it in secret. Should have it in secret, but they got lost in the mail. Next up, we have 2 Effect Failure. We're only playing 2. Deck was pretty tight. We do play a ton of monsters, very little of anything else. So, those are our 8 hand traps. We are also playing 3 infinite impermanence, so kind of playing, what, 3, 6, 9, 10, 11? Kind of playing 11 hand traps, depending on how you want to look at it. Good going first or going second. You can either go first, set up your field, set this, and be ready to go, or you can have this in your hand if they're going first and stop them in their tracks. Next up, we are playing the Sky Striker engine. It's just too good not to play it right now, like in pretty much any deck, honestly. We don't play a lot of spells, so you don't really get any of the bonuses from the engages or any of the other Sky Striker cards. But the fact that you can actually engage into your Hornet Drones into your token into Kagari into Hornet Drones into token, and then have any normal summonable monster into your Folga is really, really, really busted. So it really gets your plays going when you're able to do that. Next up, you're playing the 1 Widow Anchor, the 1 Afterburners, and the 1 Hornet Drones. A lot of times you never really use these cards. They're just there because if you do already have the Hornet Drones in your hand, you can search out with Engage. So pretty good. Also, if you're going second, you can pop things with Widow Anchor that you may not be able to get around otherwise. Following that up, we're playing 2 Mayhem for Hire. Could play 3. I just think it's really bricky. You can only play 1. You can only activate 1 per turn. So if you do open up more than 1, you're kind of stuck on it. So it's not that big of a deal. It is a good monster reborner, but a lot of times if you're trying to bring things back with Mayhem, you're already going to be out in it, like out of the tournament, or out of the match. So you don't really need more than 1 or more than 2. Following that up, we have the Called by the Grave. This is really just to, if they have the Ogre, the Droll, Ash, any of the hand traps, effect failure, because if it's all based around that first normal summon. If you normal summon your beat and then you activate its effect and they Ogre it or they Ash it or anything like that, and they just stop all your plays in its tracks, it really kills you, and you pretty much just say go and hope that they don't OTK you on their turn. So this really helps stop that from happening. Then last card in the main deck is the 1 Rhoda. Obviously at 1, it's a Searcher. Really good card. The only card that you're actually going to search in this is Beat. So if you open up this and another Beat, it's kind of whatever. You can just search the Beat and hope that they don't and then just not let them know you have 2 in your hand. Moving on to the extra deck, we're playing the 1 Kagari for the Hornet Drones, the Nightmare Mermaid, as well as Cerberus, Phoenix, and Unicorn. The only 3 we're going to use is Cerberus, Phoenix, and Unicorn. Mermaid's in there just in case we get Ibleed, because that really, really sucks. Next we're playing 1 Summon Sorceress, the 2 Folga for our Link 3s. Probably the best card in the deck. If you don't know what he does, when he's summoned, he can special summon 1 for higher monster from the deck that is not the same type as what was used to make him. So if you use like a Beast, Aqua, and Beast Warrior, you can special summon anything that's not that. So just have to be careful of what you're using to make him. And then also, if a card is destroyed, let me make sure I'm reading this correctly. Yeah, if a card that your opponent controls is destroyed by battle or card effect, while you control him on the field, you can draw a card. But if you control him and 2 other for higher monsters, at least, so 3 or more total, you can draw you can draw 3 cards. So if you're able to have set up with like this, a Beat and a Raphael and something else, and have an Ogre in hand, they activate an effect, you Ogre it, destroys it, you just get 3 cards in your hand, so you can net like an Effect Veiler, Impermanence, Ash Blossom, whatever you really need. So a lot of hand traps to try and keep pushing forward and stop your opponent from doing anything. Onto our Link 4s, we are playing the 1 Boral Sword. Really good with OTKs. Boral Low Dragon for problems you can get around. Firewall, as well as Saryuja Skull Dread. Just really good generic Link 4s here. And then obviously for the OTK, and then Boral. So good Link 4s. That's it for the Link monsters. We are playing 3 XYZs in the form of Ronin, Raccoon, Sendeo. Use your Dampas and your Recons to make this. Really good to get like a couple Raphaels in the field, and then make this with your Recon and your Fail, or your Recon and your Dampas, and then get 2800 beat sticks on the field as tokens, so pretty good. And then we are playing the Tornado Dragon, and then the 1 Exciton Knight. Just came off the ban list, so obviously you got to play it. And then Tornado Dragon allows you to pop things if you have your Fogle on the field you can draw. So pretty good, pretty good. It is not a tier 0 deck. It's not close to a tier 1 deck. It's more of a fun deck. Lots of combos you can do with the deck, lots of fun, depending on what your opponent does. The deck does die currently to Thunder Dragon, so you have to work around that. That's why you do main all of the hand traps that you do, hoping that if they do play that deck and they do go first, you can stop them before they can actually do anything. But yeah, that's the deck. That's the extra deck. 40 cards in the main, 15 in the extra. If I do end up changing anything with the deck, I'll be sure to let you guys know either in the comment section or I'll make another video for you guys. If you do have any questions, comments, concerns about the deck, make sure to hit that. Let me know down in the comment section. I'll be sure to get back to you as soon as possible. If you did enjoy the deck, make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that little bell as well for little notifications, because all your support is greatly appreciated. But I think that's all I've got for now, guys, so I will see you later on this week with a few test hands with this deck. So that is all I've got for now, guys. Thank you so much for watching. As always, this is Nate from the Scrub Academy, signing out for now. Peace out!